Ride the signal through the unknown. This is the cryptic current.
In 2019, a netizen publicly called on people to snort Area 51 together. Unexpectedly, within just 3 months, over 2 million people responded to this activity. After the information spread, even the U.S. military spokesperson issued a public warning. The government would use military force to protect Area 51. Area 51 is located in a remote desert area. Why do so many people want to travel all the way there? It turns out that over nearly half a century, countless people claim to have seen UFOs in this area. Even former Area 51 employees and high-ranking officials confirmed that there are aliens here. However, no matter how many people verify this, the US government consistently denies it. Today, let's uncover the mystery of Area 51 together. Hello everyone, I'm Rudy. Area 51 can be said to be the world. Even those who don't believe in aliens have heard of it. But did you know, despite being so famous, the US government still consistently denied Area 51's existence? Until 2013 that the CIA publicly acknowledged Area 51. According to declassified documents, Area 51 was established in 1955 under President Eisenhower's order. It's located near the Lincoln Conservation Area in southern Nevada, USA. For many years, many people have come to Area 51 hoping to witness UFOs firsthand. But did you know that in reality, no civilians can get close to Area 51? Because previously, the US government purchased all the surrounding vast land to prevent people from approaching this base. The total area of this Air Force base is 12,139 square kilometers, and Area 51 is actually located at the center of that vast Air Force base. This further shows how much the US tried to hide Area 51's existence. As mentioned earlier, the US established Area 51 in 1955. So what exactly happened that made the US government suddenly decide to build Area 51? On February 24, 1942, from evening until early next morning, over Los Angeles, USA, numerous UFOs suddenly appeared. Initially, radar captured images of these UFOs, but soon after they disappeared. In fact, these UFOs never left. This was shortly after the Pearl Harbor incident. So the US military once thought Japan was about to attack Los Angeles. Air raid alarms sounded immediately and all electricity was cut off. This is a photo taken at that time. You can see many unidentified bright spots in the sky. If you look closely, you can see an unidentified flying object at the center of the searchlight beams. And that night, the US military didn't scramble any fighter jets. So at least we can be sure the object in the photo isn't a US military aircraft. According to statistics, that night the US military fired over 1,400 anti-aircraft shots, but didn't hit anything. The next day, the US Secretary of War initially reported to the media that at least 15 unidentified flying objects had flown through the city. Strangely, not long after, US Navy Secretary Frank Knox contradicted the Secretary of War's statement. Frank Knox said the alert was just due to mistaking weather balloons for aircraft. Let's review the footage captured by CBS at that time. You can see many bright spots moving extremely fast. Do these look like weather balloons to you? During the period from July 12 to July 29, 1952, numerous UFOs suddenly appeared over the Columbia area, even visible right at the US Capitol's office building. Around 11 p.m. on July 19, Washington International Airport air traffic controllers detected Initially, radar detected 7 unidentified flying objects. Moreover, these 7 objects did not move according to normal patterns. Their speed was extremely fast. At that time, the US military dispatched F-94 fighter jets to intercept. But then they unexpectedly realized the speed of these flying objects was incredibly fast. The US F-94s were completely unable to catch up. Later, due to running out of fuel, the fighter jets were forced to return to base. And in the many days that followed, the sky over the US Capitol was like an open door, allowing these UFOs to come and go as they pleased. You must know that this was the capital of the world's leading superpower at that time. After that, President Truman felt so embarrassed that he even ordered the possibility of declaring war. It wasn't until after July 29 that these mysterious UFOs stopped appearing. And this time, the US government once again explained to the public in the traditional way. They said it might be meteors or mirages. Do you believe that possibility? After the two above events, the US government began to realize that they were not number one in this world, because there existed extraterrestrial life that they didn't know about. Moreover, the technology possessed by extraterrestrial beings far exceeded what the US had. Additionally, the UFO incident that occurred in Roswell in 1947 provided the US with specimens to research extraterrestrial technology related to the 1947 Roswell UFO incident. We'll make a separate analysis video about this when we have the opportunity. Notably, the Roswell incident occurred in July 1947. And in September of the same year, 2 months later, the US established its most important intelligence agency, the CIA. This inevitably makes people speculate that they might not only want to collect intelligence on Earth, but the intelligence source the US valued most at that time was the Soviet Union, and coincidentally, that period also saw many UFO appearances in the Soviet Union. Therefore, some believe that the intelligence the US government most wanted to gather at that time was how much extraterrestrial technology the Soviet Union had acquired. Regarding Area 51 that we're mentioning today, it was initially acknowledged by the CIA that such a base truly existed. Is this just a coincidence? To date, many people have come forward to prove there are aliens in Area 51. But the earliest whistleblower was an American named Bob Lazar. In 1989, in a public program, Lazar revealed that he had once been an employee working at Area 51. You need to know that at that time, Area 51 was a secret base not acknowledged by the government. And in fact, the US government repeatedly emphasized that no such place existed. But Bob Lazar said Area 51 not only existed, but inside was exactly as rumored. There really were aliens. And currently there are thousands of people working at Area 51. Before entering Area 51, all employees, including security personnel, cleaners, even construction contractors had to sign confidentiality agreements. He said he had worked at Los Alamos National Laboratory, participating in radioactive particle detection work. One day, through an introduction by Dr. Edward Teller, he received a new job. Initially, he didn't even know the work location, until one day, Lazar received instructions to go to a secluded spot west of McCarran International Airport, gathering there to proceed to the next location when Bob Lazar noticed even the flight he was on didn't display flight numbers or aviation routes. Then he became certain that he was about to participate in the government's secret research program. Sure enough, after several transfers, Lazar arrived at a secret underground base called S4 located near Area 51. When he arrived at the base, he was extremely amazed to see 9 flying saucers of different shapes. And his job was to reverse engineer the anti-gravity propulsion system of the flying saucers. Simply put, he needed to understand how aliens manufactured flying saucers. Lazar also confirmed that near Area 51, there were not only crashed flying saucers and alien corpses, but also living aliens. Moreover, these aliens had come to Earth over 20,000 years ago from the Reticulum constellation. They called themselves the Setter Binary Planet People and were the familiar gray aliens. During the interview, Lager also mentioned that these flying saucers used a type of fuel made from element 115 to fly. At that time, when he mentioned this element, no one understood what Lager was talking about. Finally, he said the reason he disclosed this was because he was caught violating the secrecy agreement. He had taken his wife and friends to the edge of Area 51 to secretly watch UFOs take off and land, and was caught by security personnel. And he believed that the best way to protect his life at that moment was to put himself in the spotlight. And indeed, although both the government and the media tried their best to make people think Pop's words were a joke. Then in 2003, humans finally discovered that element 115 was indeed the component making up UFO fuel. And then in 2013, the CIA admitted the existence of Area 51. Will there be a day when the US government stands up and admits that Area 51 really has aliens? Does everyone still remember the Roswell flying saucer crash? Initially, the US government admitted that a flying saucer had crashed, but less than 24 hours later, they suddenly changed their mind and said it was just a fallen weather balloon. At that time, although it attracted worldwide curiosity, most people still chose to believe the US government. This photo was taken to convince people that the crashed object was just a weather balloon. Recently, someone using new techniques to study the paper in this military officer's hand discovered that the paper clearly stated that a flying saucer had crashed. Moreover, it mentioned transporting the flying saucers and the observers inside to a base called A-18. This paper also stated that they should quickly provide weather balloon photos to the media to increase persuasiveness. Does everyone notice that the US government really likes using weather balloons as an excuse? Let's go back to Area 51 for a moment. Initially, the US government also firmly denied the existence of Area 51 until technology developed, with satellites everywhere, forcing them to admit it really exists. However, the US government still denies that Area 51 is related to aliens. They say this is just an ordinary military base. Until we obtain crucial evidence, they certainly won't easily give us the answer. But I believe in the eyes of many people, this evidence is already enough to tell the truth. Therefore, I really hope you don't underestimate the evidence before your eyes, because one day you will know that aliens have come to Earth long ago. Speaking of this, let's summarize a bit. Through many events like mysterious disappearances, control of mainstream media, tech giants, investment tycoons, and celebrities in various fields. Actually, America, the US government, or even the US military are no longer the simple concepts people usually think. But currently, many people realize that there is a huge shadow force manipulating everything. And the UFO crash events, whether alien technology accidentally or intentionally fell into human hands, and the parties accessing it were the two countries with the greatest aspirations and capabilities, the US and the Soviet Union, not any other country. Could this be the beginning of cooperation between two major forces, the bad aliens and the shadow force? Aliens have such advanced technology, if they wanted to invade Earth, it really wouldn't be difficult. Why don't they do it directly? What exactly do they want from humans on Earth? Welcome everyone to share your thoughts on this issue in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. Hello and see you again next time.
If the signal hooked you, subscribe and catch the next ripple.